what's going on with that song. What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Oh, let's see. That's the wrong one, but there's the dogs. They're trying to stay warm. We got Sparky there at the bottom left, and Blondie up there by the table, far away from the camera. There he's back. Throwing up. Mix this up. I gotta clean through these. I jotted them down the other day, but that's not gonna help. There we go. This will work for now. This will work for now. Be gone. What up, y'all? What up? I'm all over the place. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Thanks for hanging out. Hope everybody's doing well this fine morning. In the freezes, I hope that's unscathed you. Other natural disasters, I hope you've been safe. Adjust this a little more. Oh man. I think today's the last day I gotta deal with sub-freezing temperatures. It's not so much horrific, more horrific when you say it that way. Sub-freezing temperatures. I'm a boy from the south. I ain't used to this freezing stuff, man. I guess the whole South Gulf Coast got snow. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up the AccuWeather. I don't know if you like AccuWeather, but it works well for me. It hasn't led me too far astray, I don't think. But right now, as I'm using it, I'm not liking it. Not liking it. Let's see. Beaches blanketed in snow as historic winter blankets the Gulf Coast, right? -5 Celsius. Why is it giving us Celsius? We need freedom units. Well, that's going to be too much to figure out. But we just know 0 is freezing. Let's see here. I know a thing. Private education taught me something. So, when does it get above freezing today? So 10 a.m. it finally breaks freezing. And I think that's the end of it. No. Tonight, tomorrow. Move yonder. But yeah, so I'm not used to this cold shit, y'all. It's kind of interesting to me though, because I know there's many creators out there from Europe and Canada and all over the world, but specifically those parts, and they hear my little self going on about, oh my god, it's so cold. It is not my weather. I don't do it. I don't like it. So the dogs loved it. They were all about. Oh my god, they were frolicking. They were prancing. It was kind of silly looking. But we don't put no ball. We don't have. And not having to do this often. We don't have like any dog gloves or dog shoes for them. So, you know, try not to let them be out there for too long. Like I made 2 snowballs and I said, yep, no, that's enough. My hands are frozen. I don't know about these dogs. All right. Let's see here. Turn this music down a little bit more. Turn it down on my end too, so I feel like I'm yelling at you. Oh, big stretch. Hold on 1 second. Oh. Oh, that felt good. That felt good. Okay, y'all. Well, so for those who are regulars, again, we always appreciate y'all. We greatly thank y'all for being with us. I gotta turn this light on, huh? Whoa, that's a little brighter. That's a little different now. And for all the regulars and who've been coming through and stopping by, I greatly appreciate y'all. If you catch us live, that's awesome. If you're catching the show afterwards on the demand, greatly appreciate it. Always gets me all excited when I see the little numbers go up. I guess that's all of us in the workout channels, right? It's all about about numbers going up. It'll get us excited. In any case, for anybody new coming through, stopping by, you're welcome to hang out, be here, lurker friendly for sure. Really looking for anybody who's got pain from exercise or movement to stop through sometime, give us a shout. If you do reach out to us, you know, we're gonna work with you to understand what's causing your pain. We're gonna work with you to help craft exercise program, so to speak, to help you get out of that pain and stay out of that pain. Now, this is all assuming it's a muscular-related pain, right? You have to have some sort of medical release from a doctor, clearing you that there is no underlying conditions or anything of that nature, right? Gotta make sure we're all working from the same base of givens, right? If you ever done any type of problem solving, specifically that comes to mind for me is like Newtonian physics. You're doing little force diagrams or such, and you gotta get all these equations you gotta use. You gotta figure out which is already given to you. What are the known quantities, and then you start, changing your formulas, playing around with it. Well, if you have this, and that means that can lead you to this, and if that gives you this, well, then that's what you need over here, and all this other kind of circle of life kind of bullshit. All that to be said, arthritis is, you can't reverse it, but you can do things to mitigate it. You can do things to help slower the detriments. They're not the detriment, but the deterioration. Maybe if you have if you have something like cancer or some other sort of maybe infection, right, that will cause pain. My mom, there's been a couple times I've shared about my mom here, but she passed away of cancer. She had breast cancer, and you can take this as a PSA to go get yourself checked if you fit the category. But she wasn't getting her mammograms on the regular. What got her to finally go is she was feeling irritation in her breast. She was feeling pain in her breast. Now, this, for a woman, it's obviously a little different in that, it's outside of where muscle may be. So, it's like I have a no duh. But again, you could have, even for a man, a man could have breast cancer. It's going to feel like it's in the tissue. It's going to be more muscle adjacent, if you will. So, cancers can come on and create pain senses. Infections. If you've ever had a zit, those things hurt. Why do they hurt? You got this thing growing underneath your skin and putting pressure on there. Creates irritation and pain. So, think of that even as a more intense infection deeper into the skin. So, or it could be even something like a splinter or something like that. It seems dumb, but you can get a splinter in your finger or a splinter somewhere in your body that you don't realize, and it can feel like pain. You can do all the corrective exercises in the world until that splinter comes out or that foreign body is removed. You're going to keep feeling that pain, so to speak. Any case, get off that soapbox. Let's move on. So last night we did our gym fails, our version of gym fails, so to speak. We have a collection of videos we go through, and we break them down and just see what's going on, why did it fail, what kind of gems of knowledge can we get from them. And that I also do with my business partner, Paul. And he's very excellent in helping with pain, and he has observational skills that are just... I've never seen anybody have the kind of observation skills he has. And it all leads to helping him piece together the puzzle that is pain. For me, I look at movement and try to clean up movement as an exercise. And I think of 7 basic movement patterns. On Fridays, we normally go over these, but it's going to be your hip hinge, your squat, your lunge, a horizontal and vertical press, a horizontal and vertical pull. Then we get to all the exercises basically build out from there. And so this morning, we're going to look at Reddit. Switch over. We're going to check out Reddit this morning and see what's in the feeds, see what we can find, and see if we can't offer some help here. So this is from yesterday. It says he's at his wit's end. He hurt his back again. Can't pinpoint what I'm doing wrong. I tried following tutorials, but with my long femurs and short torso, I feel like they don't apply to me. So he is valid in that longer femurs and a shorter torso. Our personal geometries, our individual geometries, will affect technique or how you do it, right? So this thing's already ran because I was blabbing on. Let's restart it and let's see what we see just from the go. We'll watch it once and then we'll break it down. To me, it looks like he's lifting with his back, huh? No wonder your back hurts, brother. What are we seeing? What are we seeing? See a lot of weight on this bar, too. It's more than 135. I think he's pulling 225, maybe. So that would be the other thing off the go. So I would say first, if you're feeling back and you're hurting your back, that is a big indication you got too much load. And as he's also saying, he feels like he's doing it wrong, which it looks to me he is. But again, if you're in pain, drop that weight. Like, just can you pick up the bar? Put the bar on top of something if you have to. You know, use a rack. With the hooks way low if your gym has those kinds of things. If it doesn't, you know, they have those. This looks like a gym that might have deadlift hook yokes, right? Just put the bar in the yoke without any weight. Worst comes to it, just stack up some weights and set the bar on top. Or just do it RDL style. Like, I mean, there's no excuse not to. We can get you there. So if you're having pain in your back, I mean, first would be just how does it feel without the bar? Can you hip hinge without pain? Right? Fuck what I was saying earlier about how to set the bar up to where we can pick it up without the weights on it. But just hip hinge. How does that feel? Does that suck? Well, then guess what? It ain't going to get better by doing the fucking heavier weight. You got to keep in mind, form is always going to suffer when we are fatigued, mentally somewhere else. Where's my hand? We're mentally somewhere else, cardiovascularly taxed, right? If our mind is not focused on the technique, we're going to suffer. We'll not suffer so much as you're just going to go into your automatics, your habits. If it's too heavy for you, you can try with the best technique, but you're eventually going to go to where this place you're going to compensate to try to get it up. It's everybody. Right? It takes all kinds of mental fortitude not to start compensating. Like if you thought about putting a bar down on the ground so heavy you couldn't pick it up, so it's This guy plus another 3 stacks. And that's all what gym fails are, right? Is people doing too heavy a lift for themselves. If they kept good technique, they would just be like shoulders lacked, elbows in, they'd have their feet there, and they'd just be pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and they wouldn't go anywhere. Like, it would be the most boring fucking video ever of a just guy like looking like they're about to blow a gasket. But that's not what happens, right? We start trying to gank it, or we start, the body starts kind of shifting different ways, trying to find ways to get this thing to happen. And again, that's when it's too heavy. And then if we're tired, let's call it it could be fatigued from just not enough sleep, cardiovascularly tired, so you're gassed. Maybe that's where you get things like metcons, metabolic conditionings, or other type of workout plans where they push that cardiovascular intensity. And if you watch yourself when you're breathing hard and heavy, it is hard to do your techniques with do your movements with good technique. And so that's where those moments you've got to balance out what's important. To me, with Paul, our methodology, we want to keep you in the game for as long as possible, which means keeping your joints as healthy as possible for as long as possible. And the way we keep your joints healthy is you don't use them in ways that are going to cause them detriment. We don't do things, we listen to our bodies when we have pain. We honor that pain, so to speak. And Paul always gets pissed about this, honor your body. But no, fuck that. When you hear your body say owie, you listen to it. Like this guy, I can't pinpoint what he's doing wrong, and I'm tired of tutorials. I don't feel like something, and to this point too, everything applies. You know, like a deadlift is a deadlift. Now, there might be some cueing and some landmarks that don't apply to him, but he needs to think about them and take from him as much as he can. So let's see here, because to me, he just bop. Can't see his feet, but I feel he's like too far into his toes. So something about the way his body seems shifted, he seems too far forward. He needs to push his butt further back and create tension in his glutes and his hamstrings. That would be one of the first things I would have him do. So I would say weight in your heels, pull your knees slightly back. You want the knees over the bar, but they don't have to be like way over the bar. To me, again, it looks like he's shifted way far forward in front of himself. I'd like for him maybe to drop his head and pull his chin into his throat too, but that might be me being a little nitpicky. Again, in the shoulders, it looks kind of slack, like they're kind of internally rotated. I'd want him to pull his shoulders down, elbows rotated in. You know, it's almost like this idea of trying to bend the bar. There's those YouTube videos of some kids going around, and kids, I don't know, they grown men, but they got these strength bars. Got big old springs wrapped around them. And the whole thing is you want to try to bend them. That's this idea here, right? You want to try to, but it's not so much with your wrist. And I think that's a lot of times where people hear bend the bar, we try to create it with our wrist. I was guilty of this. You need to press your elbows down and in, create this kind of chicken wing flap, if you will. When you engage your lats, this is going to help you lock your whole core, but it's also going to help lock you into there to where we don't create movement through the spine or the shoulders. And this also helps keep you to where you can focus more on just pushing through the ground and using the legs. Let's see what else we get. So watch this. Watch the bar move, but his hips don't. So look how far the bar has moved versus his hips. So see, now we can see his feet in about mid-shin. His hips are about right there. We'll put the little fingertip on where his hips are. So look at this. Back. We're all the way at the beginning. The little fingertip is basically in the same spot with the bar at the ground. Okay, so his hips go down. It's very short. So we see how the bar and him are not moving at one. He pops his hips up. That's not terrible. But now he's pushing. You can see here too in the back. His heels look like they're raising up. It looks like he's more on the forefoot, which again is indicating he's more forward. And then he comes up. And he needs to go slower on this eccentric. You see how he's even rounding his back to get down here, which would extend, means he's letting go. So again, this thing right here, this belt, biggest disservice. I get people want safe backs, and I want you to have a safe back. I want a safe back. Using these belts aren't the way. They're a hindrance. And I've shared this story before. In high school, we had a football coach who would do all the ankle tapings. And I remember one day he was, being dumb kids, we all thought it was kind of cool to have taped ankles. I don't know. He came up to us, if I do this today, I got to do it every time. Are you sure? And for whatever reason, that just it hit in a weird way, and the way he said it and the way he kind of made it sound like this is going to be a permanent kind of a thing for you for the rest of your life. And he wasn't wrong. There was a lot of wisdom in that. And what he was saying is your body learns how to work with that taped ankle. Now, if for whatever reason, you've got weak ankles, and you just, like you say, every time I step outside the door, John, I roll my ankle. I've got to tape my ankles. Sorry for rolling my eyes at you. Second, I get you. You got to do what you got to do to make it through the day, to be able to earn a living, to be able to provide for your family, to take care of yourself. However, that doesn't mean there aren't other ways of taking care of it. If you're having to always put something external to take care of something internal, how open are you to exploring different exercises than what you may be doing that may be tough or odd for you? They may feel kind of out of body even, but they may highlight weaknesses that will develop you in a way that prevents the constant injuries. And that's the game. So a couple things again, we'll stick back to this guy here, is he's rigid here. But we see he kind of lets go of his core. He kind of gets this roundedness. He's in his toes real hard, which means he's not really pushing through his glutes and his hamstrings as much as he could be. And then he's kind of picking it up, and then as he lets it down, he just kind of lets it go. He'd be better off almost just dropping it, I feel. But he's not getting a good eccentric, and then he's kind of having to reload. Yeah, one more here. So yeah, and you can see right here he's not hip hinging. He's not accessing the glutes properly. Whether or not he knows how to. Right here, see, he's rounding his back, and then he's lifting up that back to get back in it underneath it. So this dude, he's just got to start all over. I hate to say it that way. Not start all over, but drop the belt, drop the weight. We need to do some muscle tests. We need to see, first off, can you engage your core properly? We need to see what causes the low back pain. Where is it in the lift? Is it on the way up? Is he feeling it? Is it on the way down? Is he feeling it? Those are all going to be things that are going to help us indicate. I'd also like to see him standing frontwards. Is his feet rotated one particular way? Let's see if we get that at the end here. So you can see he kind of has a little external rotation of the foot, but not really much evidence to pick too much on. So peeling it back. First off, we need to see if it's core engagement that's causing the low back issue, which is likely it. I also think he's probably going to have some tightness in the external rotators, which will also cause some issues in that low back. From there, we got to rebuild his technique. I'd recommend him working in some, what do they call them, like minimalist shoes or zero heel lift shoes versus the tennis shoes. You can do your own research on these if you'd like, but the way I look at it with tennis shoes, right? We have this shoe design that comes with a heel lift, right? And so there's always this natural taper to normal shoes. These minimalist shoes, man, they're as flat as a board. And they put whatever designed, shoe crap on top. They ain't pretty. And they're also typically going to be a wider toe box, right? So your foot can be a little more broad. But all that to be said, where's the damn eraser board? I don't know. Here. But all that to be said, so again, if we look at a person, terrible. Get our head. Shoulders, their torso, pelvis, right? And they're standing, right? Our ankle joint's kind of in this 90-degree angle. Now, if we are to put something underneath that elevates our heels, right? What ends up happening? Oh, let's see. It would be so cool if this works this way. Nope, not that. We'll do it like that. Right, but it basically, if we put right, we're gonna end up, I move it to the back. Order, where's the order? But that's how we would be standing, right? In effect. I'm gonna draw our foot again. But in fact, our foot wouldn't be that way. Our foot would be, if you could maintain it, would be that way, but we can't do that. And so we end up going here. And if anything, right, what ends up really happening is, because that's just not feasible, right, is we have to come up here. And then typically our pelvis will tilt. If I could draw worth a damn. And then we have to kind of create a little sway back even to get up. And then stand up. Right? This is kind of an exaggeration. But it's exaggerated to show the point. Right? This is what the issue is for women's high heels, and then for men's dress shoes. And then you can see in this one, this athletic shoe, the heel has a natural lift to it. It's not the end of the world, but it's one of those things. If you're looking how to make things better and how to help yourself not be driven into the balls of the feet, because these shoes are going to do that for you. Now, that being said, you can just take your shoes off if you're okay with that. Just take your shoes off, work within your socks, and that'll create the same effect. It helps help with you create length in the calves. It'll help you be active in the foot. And you can do a lot less weight, so that way you can stay connected to these things. You also feel how if you're unstable in any of this, like your feet will want to move because you're wearing socks on a slick board. So the more driven into the floor you are, and keeping that tension driven into the floor with the socks helps you also be true to sensing what's moving or not moving, where your force vectors are. If you don't have access to it, again, that's fine. You can do things where you can, again, increase elevation, where you'll see people do that, and that's where they're trying to bypass ankle mobility issues. And that's fine as long as you have a reason for it, and then you're building away from it and trying to get a less of a heel lift. And that's going to be for more people who, Maybe have chronic plantar fasciitis. Maybe you wake up with some tender heels. If you wear a lot of work boots or, again, a lot of high heels, you may have to start doing that for yourself to get a good squat. But you want to build away from those kinds of things, just like the taped ankles, just like the belt. What else do we got going on in here? Is my push-up form okay? How can I improve it? Get a better internet connection is what I need, it seems. Oh. Come on, internet. You can't let me see that and then just... Oh. Oh. No. Stop it. Y'all see that? Yeah, my internet is trash right now. What is going on? What is going on, y'all? Oh. All right. Well. So, this young lady is cranking out some awesome push-ups. I mean, she's cranking them out for sure. You got to stop the hyperextension of the elbow. Not just because I'm squeamish or something of that nature. That's taking your joint past an end range of motion. And if it doesn't hurt or anything of that nature, so be it. But that is not normal. That is not normal function. Like, you can have some hypermobility. Maybe she is hypermobile, hyperflexible, whatever you want to think of it. Misnomer, double jointed. However, if you are a person with hypermobility or hyperflexibility, you really have to be mindful of your effective ranges of motion. Because your full ranges of motion are so great that you can get yourself into a position where you lack muscle tension. And you can cause some real damage to yourself, potentially the joint. And again, if we have joint damage, that's where it's really where life can start suffering for us. So let's see here. First, most on the bottom, I'd encourage her to rotate her elbows in a little bit more. This will help get a more sense of the chest working and take it more out of the shoulders and triceps. The other side of that too, right, is if you are working your chest, work your chest, right? Sense your chest engaged, try to push through the chest and make it about the chest moving you and not just, again, this idea of going from point A to point B, or in her case where she's like, I've got to get as extended out as I possibly can. Remember, we want tension on both sides of the body, on both sides of the spine. This creates balance. This keeps it to where structures stay in alignment, so that, if you will. So think of like a suspension bridge or even a cell phone guide tower. Anything that you want to envision that's got various lines of tension pulling. That's our spine. That's our body. It's any joint. That's what's going on. Now, if we were to remove this thing of like the Golden Gate Bridge, if we remove a portion of cables, or you could probably remove one cable and the bridge will still be fine. But if you start moving too many in one spot, right, the bridge may start twisting, contorting because of the other tensions that are being applied. And now there's no longer this tension over here to help balance everything. We want the same thing in our spines and in our body. We want tension on the one side, so that way when we press, we don't overextend in one direction and overflex, so to speak. So earlier I was stretching, right? And for me, I get a lot of tightness in my lats, especially in the mornings. And so one of the things I'll do to stretch it is I reach up overhead, I pull my shoulders down, I hold my stomach in, and then I reach my ribs I don't just simply let go and get as far over as I can. While that does create a stretch, it doesn't give me this contraction all around the lats. And then I get this big internal stretch. Plus, it helps kind of it turns on the muscles around there too. So I like to believe in my own way that it helps kind of set things in a better manner. Now, in exercise, if you've ever done a lot of like bicep curls or a lot of rows, you know, you may find that you walk kind of funny afterwards. Your arms might be, you know, T-Rex arms, or you may feel like you're big and puffed chest. And that's normal. That's just what muscles do. We do this appropriately, right? We can leave our body in a really good anatomical position. We do it less than ideally, and we can put ourselves in a less than ideal anatomical position. So we think like we sit all day in front of our computers for whatever reasons, or whatever your hobbies are. Maybe you're a musician, maybe you just like to read. All of it just pulls us forward and makes us rounded. If we're doing our push-ups in such a manner that we just stay in that rounded place, like, we're just going to keep being more and more rounded. So it's not going to benefit us. It's not going to help you. Now, if you work at a place where you open up your chest a little bit and you only work where you keep your chest in this wide position, you keep your spine and your core in these engaged positions, now you're helping establish that new posture. That's how you work on better posture. Let's see if this video wants to work now. No. It says no. We go home. All right. We just refreshed. See what happens. I have a tendency of tweaking my back and hurting for a few weeks. Should I give up DLs? Probably not. I feel like he seems similar to the other gentleman. I don't really feel like he's pressing with his legs. Oh, what happened? Weight in the heels, drive back, and hips going through forward. Now, I've got one client who has very, very, very short hips, so to speak. He has a lot of brevity in his hips. And you can't quite see with him. But he's basically got a lot of an excessive anterior pelvic tilt. And so working with him to lengthen into his quads and lengthen into his hip flexors is a big, big helper. For him, I don't feel he's keeping his core engaged quite as well as he should. Let's see if there's anything else in here. I don't get it. If I'm just too old or doing something horribly wrong, but often I tweak my lower back and I'm out for several weeks, like massive pain even walking. Something looking correct here. I don't want to lose out on this exercise, but maybe I should find safer alternatives. So again, there's still like about 30 questions to ask for him. When does he feel the back pain? Is it on the way up, on the way down? He's able to get down there, it seems fine. Does the pain come on the day after, or is it during the lifts? It's tweaking. So to me, this is core engagement. Form's not great. It's not terrible. One thing that you want to kind of watch for and feel for is once you have tension, is the bar and your hips moving at the same time? I heard someone once say it's like you're wedging yourself under the bar. And I like that cue. Because that's what you're really trying to do. You're trying to push yourself, pull yourself under the bar. See, he's not using his hips. If you kind of watch the bar and the hips, they're not quite moving at the same, I don't feel. Segmented. Like his hips come up a little. You see that little lift of the hips, and then the bar moves. So those things are going to add into it. But no, it'd be interesting to see. Again, see him and do a muscle assessment, a muscle test with them. Even something like if you did FTCs, so lay lay flat on your back. Lay flat on your back with your feet up into the sky with a soft bend. So first off, can you bring your knees to your chest, and does that eliminate the pain? That eliminates the pain. That's excellent. That shows us that it's, again, that pelvic tilt. That's the problem. And we've got to work on core engagement and potentially lengthening out the hip flexors. But first off, we get there, draw into the core, and then we can do some FTCs, maybe about 20 of them. This is one of those kind of exercises. No one has to know what you're doing or see that you're working. You'll know. You're trying to work that area south of the belly button and on top of the bladder. Some may find it familiar or similar to like a Kegel exercise. I think that's going to be the big one for him, getting his core engaged properly and seeing what goes from there. Now, if you find that you are engaging your core and things of that nature, then it might be that we need to work on creating some strength in those hip flexors in a lengthened position. So let's see what else we got here. 42 kilogram incline press. Any tips on form, or is it good? Man, come on. Don't be giving me downloady circles. We watch this dude's thing with no issues. Hey, I'm sorry about this, y'all. We come down this one. Does this one work? Oh, no. That'd be a deadlift. Different angle. It's not. All right, so that one's swinging. We'll come back to it. We're not done with that one. I just want to know why some of these videos 2 days ago, maybe we'll blame that. 2 days ago. Getting upset with my speed test, y'all. It's too cold. The internet can't work. Oh my God. My download is terrible right now. Surprised I'm not dropping frames or something. I guess that's a good thing, though. That we're not dropping frames. God, though, that download is just atrocious. Let's see. All right, there it goes. Well, no, fuck. All right, so we'll just pause right there. Maybe. Locked. Why did it get locked? Main tip will bring them down lower as low as you can touch a stretch. That's where the gains are. So, I get this guy. We'll talk about that here in a second. It's all relative. We got to stop thinking as, some of this stuff is absolutes. Bring him down. Right here, pause. So you see how his head's coming up? That's compensation we see first. And then we see he's arching away from the bench as well. That's a second compensation. Now, to this cat's point, yeah, if you can get him lower, that's great. But he's already compensating. He's already having to move his body and contort himself in a way to bring him this low and to be able to get him back up. Now, if he can keep his head down and his core engaged in a manner and is, not arching up off the bench, then sure, we can try to come down a little bit lower, keeping their shoulders down and flat to get a little more of a stretch across the chest. Likely, though, this dude's already feeling a stretch across the chest. And that's, I feel, one of those things we got to keep in mind is, one, people are going to feel the stretch in different spots. Maybe not like I feel it in my chest versus I feel it in my ass, but, you may feel that if you're keeping your shoulders down, you may start feeling that stretch right about here. Whereas someone who's trained and worked on it often, or worked on their shoulder mobility, they might be able to get it even further into the position. Right? We got to keep in mind we've got about, how do we describe them? 4 ranges of motion. So we have your passive, your skeletal range of motion. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. You know what's your passive range of motion? So just how far you can get passively pushed. And then you have your full range of motion, so that's going to be a little shorter. That's how far you could bring it in for yourself. And then we're going to have this kind of cooperative range of motion where we start engaging muscles around it as well, which is going to start peeling out some slack from us, which is going to start putting in some safeguards. So once you start engaging your core, you're going to start finding that you're going to have a little bit shorter ranges of motion. Once you engage those stabilizer motions, you're going to have a smaller range of motion, which is fine. You want to grow it. You want to build that range of motion as great as you can. But to this guy's point, right? Main tip would bring them down a little bit lower. That's a good stretch goal. His head's popping up. His back is arching. Right? We're already in a compensated position. Getting into a further weakened position is not going to help it. So I would think for this gentleman, I would go lighter in the weights, just a smidge. Doesn't have to be like he's on 42.5. So I'm not saying he needs to go to 12s, but maybe he goes to like 30 or 35s and makes sure he can keep his head laying flat on the bench. When I'm doing incline work, I even like to pick my feet up off the ground, holding my feet and thighs together, because that really also helps me engage. And the other thing I'm noticing here too is his benches. So he's doing an incline bench, which is great, but the seat he left at the flat bench. And so there are some fancy benches where when you move one, they both will adjust. Unfortunately, this is not one of those, so he needs to take this lever here and lift it up and adjust it maybe to this or that second notch, which will then help sit him back and will also help prevent him from this hyperextension. So those are the two things I kind of see there. But all in all, not terrible. And even my internet's terrible. That's what's terrible. Because he doesn't really seem to flare out his elbows, so that's a good thing. We'll try. No, we're not. We're done. We're moving on. I can't handle it. All right. Is this deadlift or a RDL or a deadlift? So this would be a deadlift. So first off, to distinguish yourself from an RDL or a deadlift, deadlift is a deadlift from the ground, meaning that there is no movement in the bar, there is no movement in the weight. It is dead weight. The RDL, your Romanian deadlift, is going to be starting from the top down, and is going to be a hamstring focused kind of a feel. So if you're picking the bar up from the ground and lifting it all the way up, 80% confidence that you're doing a deadlift. If you start with the bar in your hands and you're hip hinging only, where you feel a stretch in the glutes and the hamstrings, and you are not setting the bar down, then you're doing your Romanian style. But with that being said, let's see what we see here. So initially, I feel they're too far away from the bar. So we see this big space between the shins and the bar. The further that bar is away from you, the more you're at a disadvantage of attempting to lift it. So then we need to pull that bar in closer to themselves. Second, I encourage doubles pronated grip, palms over, palms facing you grip. If you so choose to do an overhand underhand grip, so be it. Tooth notes, don't tear your bicep. And that's what will happen on this right arm for this individual. Not will, potentially. And then switch. So that way you work your shoulders in both positions. So the pronated, supinated. And I'd encourage you to do it every half set. Don't do it every don't switch grips every set. I would do it every half set. It depends on what your volume is and what your numbers are. I mean, how many sets you're doing in total as well. But again, I would encourage, if you're going to do the over under, to switch it halfway through your set. Doesn't need to be every rep. That's too much. Do it halfway through your set. So first off, the bar is too far. Secondly, I feel like their knees are collapsing in. It might be part of the camera angle. And I would work on driving the knees out into your arms. So again, if we have that bar close into us, we should be pulling the bar in, squeezing those elbows into the body. And see how they bring the bar in at the end? They almost have to, I would say, based on their size, to be able to get that bar up. We kind of see a little of that kind of fidgeting and warming. So that's where we gotta keep that tight, keep the core tight, keep the lats tight, so you can pull the bar in, weight in your heels, push through the heels. And we get a little kind of a stripper squat here, right? The hips come up and then in. So we got to keep that core engaged and drive the hips forward. What do we get down here? No ups or downs. This is hypermobile, EDS, have chronic pain. This is my attempt at a deadlift, but I feel it's not doing it properly. It looks like an RDL. I will say it feels great on my low back glutes, so I'm doing something right. There's two different vids with two different angles. I will take all critiques and feedbacks. So one, I would say you don't want to necessarily work your low back. Like, I'm glad it felt great. Maybe it's missing out on some stuff, but that's a conventional RDL wouldn't waste touching the floor, hip hinge, squat motion. Yeah. It's also a deadlift. Also watch out your knees cave in. As someone who's hypermobile, you should ensure that you have good form before going that heavy, right? Your form isn't too bad, honestly. I'd starting. Yeah, the hips come up too easy. It's not the end of the world. It's not bad. It's got some polishing. Again, I feel like we're losing some core integrity. Right. I don't know when to stop Romanian deadlift. Only thing stopping me is my lower back getting pain or my hands getting too weak from the weight. I could theoretically do more than 20 reps. What to do? So if your lower back getting pain, then we're not doing it right. So there's a couple of things in there I would say. So you feel like we're rolling the pelvis. And then we gotta see soft bend in the knees, drive the hips forward. I'm doing a good job of trying to get the hips to go back. So again, if the weights, so we'll break this into a couple of things. So I don't know what you mean when I don't really know when to stop Romanian deadlift. You stop them based on your program. If you don't have a program you're following, then you just come up with a rep scheme and you follow that and you go through them. I like rep ranges, say 10 to 15, 8 to 12, 4 to 6, 1 to 4. And what has me stopped up is this only thing stopping me is my lower back getting pain or my hands are getting too weak from the weight. So if we're being stopped because of lower back getting in pain, then we got to figure out what's happening. We got to identify that because your low back shouldn't be in pain. Now, if your hands are getting weak, that's fine. I would work on first and being more engaged with the lats and those elbows slightly bent to rotate them in. It's not that it's going to make it easier on the hands, but it would engage into the lats a little more, helping you carry that weight versus it all being in the hands. The other thing is, if you can do more than 20, I could theoretically do 20 more reps, do more than 20 reps. If you've built up to 20, that's fine. It's probably then time to either look at a higher weight. If they don't have higher weights there, you can do single leg variations or just, do single leg variations, or you can find other exercises around it. So it could be, you can work on some like squats, lunges, not squats. You do squats. You could do lunges, single leg Romanian deadlifts, single leg deadlifts. You can do some rotational type deadlifts. You can do unbalanced deadlifts. All right, so you can hold a weight in one hand and then do your deadlift, making sure everything's still staying square and you're connected and such. So there's different ways you can change it if you're needing some variety. If you've been doing it for like 4 to 6 weeks, change up your exercise and either the modality or the rep ranges. So again, if you're wanting to focus on hamstring development, you've been doing Romanian deadlifts at 20 reps at a certain weight, you can change the exercise and that's fine, or you can change the rep scheme and that's fine as well. Both of those are going to create you some good stimuluses for change. For me, this guy, again, this is the same thing. Is can you lay down your back? Do you feel your back when you're laying down? When do you feel and that's also, when do you start feeling your low back? Do you feel your glutes and hamstrings working? So, it's hard to give, full advice without having some more questions answered. And then, because otherwise you're just going to get somebody else's anecdotal experience. And let's see what we see in here. I guarantee we're going to get a lot of answers and not a lot of questions. You look those, you're incredibly unbalanced. Have a look at your feet. You're rolling between the ball and the heel of your foot. I'd go lower, but that's me. So again, I don't know that he looks unbalanced. To me, what I'm seeing is someone trying to reach back into their hips. And sure, they're losing some balance, but I feel they're kind of working at that, and that's fine. I think that's good. Now, to that point, though, once you start feeling that you're able to get your hips back some, working on keeping that foot fully engaged and fully flat, keeping those knees over the ankles. And going lower, well, again, this is that thing. Lower he may already be feeling tension in the glutes and the hamstrings. Maybe he's feeling pain in his back, right? Yeah, I could set that weight on the floor from a hip hinge, and that's great for me. Does nothing for you or for this individual, right? To me, I think he's doing decent as long as he's still feeling connected. And again, if you're feeling pain, going deeper does not make it better. I stop when I feel the stretch very much. However, a guy down in the comments said I should go lower. I'm not sure. Nah, you good. Go to the stretch. You say make sure the core is on. And then what we said, engage the lats. This is a terrible response, but I'm sorry. I just can't. No. So again, the shoe stuff, I'll be the first one to be like, let's all get rid of fucking Nikes and, get minimalist shoes. Again, not. So yeah, everybody's all pissed about the shoes, and I get there. Okay. He's not wrong. If he goes heavier, and it looks like they do have the equipment to go heavier, but again, this is the problem. The guy's not sure what he's doing. He's not got good technique. Now going maybe with a little heavier bar, but really he needs to find himself a trainer and work with a trainer. Not trying to say that, or work with someone who knows how to train. He's doing right to go to that stretch. The tennis shoes are fine. Again, would I prefer him being barefoot? Would I prefer? Yeah. But that will also create some issues within the calves that he'll have to work through as well. This is what this is the environment his foot and his ankles are used to. So it's not the end of the world. Like, these people saying that he needs to change his shoes is not, like, that is not going to take away his back pain. I don't believe it would. Yeah. Stop when you feel a big stretch in the glutes or hams. Straight leg, you feel your hams at first. More bent knees, you'll feel a little in the glutes. Going past that, your back will take over. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. Your current ROM looks close to mine. Well, that's fine, whatever. Could he go deeper? Does he have potential to get a deeper range of motion? Yeah. Keep your toes on the floor. First, mostly from standpoint movement, your weight should be on the balls of your feet. For almost any standing movement, your weight should be on the balls of your feet. So I disagree with that. I guess more pedantically, maybe, is your foot is a tripod idea, right? So we got the heel and the small pad and the big pad. And we want to have weight equal distributed between all 3 points. Now, I would say with a lot of my clients, I encourage them to put their weight into their heels. This is mostly so they, 1, get a sense of moving their hips back, and 2, most people are 2-toe and ball of foot dominant to begin with, so they're not actually in a flat foot position. So that's where I kind of take some issues with that. I would say any standing movement, you actually should have your weight in your heels and equidistributed through your foot. You want to make sure that heel's there. That's why it's there. Now, any sprinting or running or plyometric type efforts, brother, be on the balls of your feet. Yeah. Yep. So this version, it doesn't look like you know how to get back up. You're clearly lifting with your back and not your glutes, hamstrings, which is probably the reason you're feeling pain. Keep focus on the weight on all sole of the foot, a bit more towards the heel, but don't let your toes lift like that. Brace on every way up and finish the eccentric portion going down, activation of the glutes, and use that. That is excellent. I love it. All right. Oh, yeah, I've been sipping on cold coffee here for the last few minutes, so I'm going to go refill my cup of coffee. And then we're going to slide over into some Pubmed, I think, and see what we find there. Let me go to BRB. Oh, there it is. Title BRB. I didn't realize that's where it was. Gonna hide it. We don't need a timer. We don't need no timer. All right, y'all. BRB. Have some fun. Me and Blondie there. Going their mornings. Tell you what, Sparky's been hopping up on the... Unmute myself. Old Sparky, man, he's been climbing on couches and lately. Trying to take advantage. It's cold. Let me sit up there. Oh, it's warm there. Oh, man. How's everybody doing this fine morning? I'll chill here for about another hour. I got a client this morning, so I'm gonna have to skedaddle. It'll be a short show today. Dry air. Getting my nose all mangled up. Alright. So what do we want to look up today? Oh, what's on our mind? What burning question do we want to see answered? I guess the answer's 42, though. We've been having we've been looking at a lot of deadlift videos this morning, so we'll look it up that way. We've read that one before, so we'll move on. Let's see. Chronic low back pain or exercise program that is 2021, 2023. We'll look at the newer paper. This paper is, let's zoom in. Oh, not that. So, chronic lower back pain in weightlifters. Epidemiology. So, I think that means just how it happens, right? It's a study of how and why disease occurs in a population and how to prevent it. Epidemiology. See, if nothing else, we learned a new word this morning. Evaluation and management. Ready to read this one? Oh well. Let's see, there's the actual paper. Let's see what we got there. Abstracts. Is that all we get is the abstract? There's reviews. Table of outline. JB. Hey. This is not what I want. Go away. All right, well, I guess we're just going to get this abstract and we'll go from there. So chronic lower back pain is common in both non-athletes and weightlifters, but the diagnosis and treatment should be approached differently in these two populations based on the unique movement patterns causing the pain. Fair? Injury rates of weightlifters are far less than those on contact sports, ranging from 1.0 to 4.4 injuries per 1,000 worked out hours. Significant. However, the lower back was consistently one of the top 2 injury sites for weightlifters, accounting anywhere from 23 to 59% of all injuries. Low back pain was most often associated with the squat or deadlift. Guidelines for evaluating general low back pain are applicable to weightlifters, including a thorough history and physical examination. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is just you got to get all your knowns first. However, the differential diagnosis will change based on the patient's lifting history. Of the many pathologies that, I guess, origins. I didn't want to copy. I wanted to search it. The cause. Yeah. So of the many causes of back pain, weightlifters are most likely to be diagnosed with muscle strain or ligaments
ligamentous sprain, degenerative disc disease, disc herniation, spondylosis, spondylolisthesis. What's the difference between the two? Spondylolisthesis is a spinal condition where the vertebra slips out of place and onto the bone below it. Ooh. That sounds terrible. It's like the facets. Looks like the facets hit, at least in that diagram. And then spondylolisthesis, spondylolisthesis. It's where we have like a fracture, parts of the intercellular bone that contacts the two vertebrae in the spine can cause relative repeated stress, right? Yeah. Not good things. Not ideal. Okay, so this is the difference between the two, I guess. They both have some sort of defect, but I guess one is more of a, I forget what that word is right now, kind of a tangential load on the spine. The other one is more of a shift, a shearing. Either way, bad times, or a lumbar facet syndrome. Traditionally, recommended therapies included non-steroidal and anti-inflammatory drugs, physical therapy, activity modification, which are often insufficient to resolve pain and prevent injury recurrence because most athletes want to continue to lift weights. Lifting specific behavior modifications focused on improved technique and correcting mobility and muscular imbalances are important aspects of management in this patient population. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to sling mud at. Now, what I would put in, a little feather I would say is, depending on how far the damage is, like, you can come back. You can get to a better place. Now, there comes to a point, though, where if there's so much damage that has been done, and, like, this isn't a judgmental thing, right? Like, damage could happen anyway. It's even if it's saying it's maybe improved technique, there can be some implications that poor lifting technique caused it, and by sure, poor technique can expedite, but how it gets there is neither the case nor the matter. We're here, we're going to deal with it how we can. So depending on the degradation, right, you may require surgery, which is fine. But then it's after that, getting back on the horse, learning how to move properly again, learning how to brace correctly. That's going to be the big one to keep yourself in a good place. You know, I'm going to be working with a young lady here this week. And she's in her 30s and she's had back surgery. And working indirectly with her, you know, I was giving her a couple ideas here and there, some core exercises and some ways to practice movement. And you know, she came up, man, my back doesn't hurt anymore. And that's to this point, right? We work on the imbalances and we get to learning how to move properly. We take away the need for the body to be always in pain. We're in pain because we're putting ourselves in dicey places, and the body's like, we can't do that. So I would like to have had some more here to read, but I don't want to full text. Maybe it's just the abstract. I am not. Oh, that's the issue. I'm cheap. Thank you, Google, for reminding me of that. Let's see what else we see. Posterior chain resistance. For treatment of chronic low back in the general population. A systematic review and meta-analysis. We're not going to get into all of it. We're just going to, again, 30,000 foot overview. While chronic exercise training has been demonstrated to be an effective non-pharmacological treatment for chronic low back pain, there has been a relative lack of evidence or clinical guidelines whether a posterior chain resistance training program promotes any benefit over general exercise. So the determinant of chronic posterior chain resistance, defined as exercise programs of greater than 6 weeks duration focused on thoracic, lumbar, hip extensor musculature, is more effective than general exercise in improving pain, level of disability, muscular strength, and number of adverse effects recreationally active and sedentary individuals with chronic low back pain. So first I would say is anything targeted, I feel, will always be better versus general, right? Like, what is a general exercise? Like, what is general exercise? I'm sure they probably break it down and they describe it, but, you know, posterior chain resistance training program could be a general exercise program, I think, in some ways. Part of it for me is how do you emphasize? What syllables are we emphasizing? Like a squat? We think a squat as a lower body exercise. But a squat, depending on how your technique is, it could be maybe you have an excellent squat, and so now you hold weight in your arms, and now it becomes more of a shoulder and upper body issue, like a goblet squat or a front rack squat. Like that's going to be more of a shoulder effort. Now, can you bypass the shoulder issues? Can you compensate your shoulder mobility such that it becomes more of a lower body effort? Absolutely, and we see that a lot. So again, how are you going to emphasize the syllables you're trying to pronounce? How are you going to emphasize your workout? So a general workout program could be just as effective, is all I'm trying to say, as a posterior chain resistance training program. Now, exercise selections, yes, will dictate some of this, but a lot of times you can use the same exercises to hit different muscles, if you will. Anyways, off of that soapbox, let's get to the conclusions. Let's get to the meat. The results of the meta-analysis indicated that 12 to 6 weeks of PCR, what was that, posterior core recruitment training, had statistically significant greater effect on GE than GE, general exercise, on pain, level of disability, and muscular strength, with no significant differences to the number of adverse reactions in sedentary patients. Clinicians should strongly consider utilizing core. Yeah, and that's what I mean. So they said deadlift and hip lifts, so hip extensions, hip extension movements. So you're not trying to take away from anything they've done here, but for sure, if you choose and targeted, but you can use chest press again, chest press. Traditionally, chest press, right? It's just people are going to think that's going to be upper body, arms, shoulders, triceps. But what's going on with the lower body? Can we use the chest press as a way to help benefit the lower body? Absolutely. Right? We can make sure our core is engaged. We can do chest press with flex tips. If you don't have the strength or the stability to be there, you leave your feet flat on the ground while you do a floor press. Or if you're doing it on a bench, you put your feet on the bench. That's going to make you have to stabilize and recruit your core more. When we put our feet on the ground, it puts your core in a more lengthened position, thus a weaker position. So we're less likely to engage it if we know how to. Secondly, we utilize by pressing the common cues of pushing and pressing into the floor with the feet. It's going to activate your legs, which is fine and dandy, activate the glutes. But now again, you're likely using the bench and your glutes to stabilize your pelvis versus your actual core engagement, which will lead into low back pain, or for at least won't do anything to help it. So yes, a program designed for low back issues will for sure have benefits. But if you don't have the money to buy a special chronic low back pain issued program or something of that nature, just learning how to engage your core on any and all exercises and building that into whatever routines you have will go a long ways to getting you there. And if you need help with that, that's what we're here for. You type in something in that chat box, man, we'll answer it. You send us a whisper or DM, you'll get an answer. You'll get help from us. That's the whole reason why we're here. Because I hate seeing people in pain. I've been in pain. I've had pain that just knocks me down, right? Like, like knocks your dick in the mud. Not a good feeling. So, anyhow, say that word way too much. Anyways, my wife makes fun of me about that all the time. Me and my dad, that's our what was it? Crutch word. Anyways. Alright, y'all. Well, PubMed has drained me this morning. And then I got work here in about an hour. So we're gonna find me something to play. Ooh, what are we feeling? What are we feeling? I think Mechabellum's right. I think that's right. It's got some chill music. I am enjoying this Mechabellum game. It's a pretty laid back game. If you hang out Friday, if you come on Friday night, we're gonna put some exercise education into this. Not doing it today. Mostly because, like I said, I got work here in about an hour. It's nice, easy, laid back game. Let me change our tags. I don't know if it matters that much, but we're gonna do it. Do it. Do it. Man, today is the last day of the snow and ice. Man, I'm not looking forward to being able to go back outside. The cold is not my friend. We've got towels and blankets at the floorboards of the doors and the front and the back door, trying to help keep heat in. Just doing what we can to stay cozy. All right, what do we? Oh, I gotta get the right thing for y'all. See, we got that somewhat in the middle. We'll be the training specialist as I get my camera just perfect in the middle because it irritates me otherwise. Why does it irritate me? I don't know. But it does. Guess that's about as good as it's gonna be, honey. Alright, so we're the training guy. What are we going up against? We got crawlers and balls. Balzac. Oh, no. We're gonna turn this music off. Settings. Audio. I don't know. I don't hear the music, unfortunately. It's upsetting. Oh well. Alright, so I think that will suffice. Because I want to go factory. So I want to try to save up as much money. Oh, man, he is like sprinting after me. He's going to win this one, I think. Yeah. He got me, Captain. He got me good. Didn't quite have enough resources. That's all right. We're in for the long haul. We're gonna take the money and run. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, again, he's like right on top of us. Oh, let me go see what that does. And what that does. And then we're going to hit end. Tally ho. Wow. We just don't have enough in the middle right now either. So he's going to collapse either side. That's okay though. We buying time, buying time. Feel good about the next one. Well, part of me is thinking Vulcan even. Though not against Steel Balls. Steel Balls probably wouldn't be great against Vulcan. I mean, Steel Balls would be good against Vulcan. Said that backwards. Yeah, we're skipping it all. We're skipping it all. We're banking it. Banking it, baby. I don't know if I should be rotating them this way. I just think it looks cool. There is no rhyme. There is no reason. Cuckoo, Kachoo. I am the walrus. Oh my god, coffee is so good when it's warm. I hit go, right? Yep, we hit go. Go, baby, go. Disco Inferno, burn, baby. I'm mixing songs now. It's not a good place to be. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, look at this dirty player. Trying to flank me. I see it. Trying to get me on my backside. He succeeded. Well. Part of me is feeling with him having this much chaff that I might be better off. I don't know which ones are mine or which ones are his. Sheesh. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Oh. Okay. So we got lots and lots of money. Lot of money. Lot of money. Do we want to go fangs? Well, storm callers. No, storm callers aren't good. We don't want storm callers. We'll go with the fangs. 3 fangs. Yeah, we'll put them there. And they're slow. And as I think about it, I probably need to put them like somewhere like that. Somewhere like that. And we're going to come in here and unlock this brute. There, and we're going to mortgage our future. And we're going to get another brute. Just like that. And then can't upgrade anything. I think we're just gonna hit. Fuck it. We're gonna go. Bop. Let's see how that goes. Well, took some of them out. He upgraded some. He did more on the flanks. He did a lot on the flanks. Oh man, a lot of fangs. He does not want me to have this right flank. Not a very nice guy. We got 2 war factories out. So let's see how this goes. And he... Thing again, he's going to probably take this. We might save this one. I think we might save this one. The war factories for the win. I think it worked out. The fangs just can't do enough damage to this bad boy. Ooh. We have no money this round. So I think but we probably, I think we're gonna skip it. We could promote them. That's 200. Get phoenixes. I want to know what this upkeep is. So I guess we're gonna do that, and then again we're gonna mortgage our future, and we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna, again, go like that. And we're gonna see how it goes. He's gonna javelin the shit out of my thingamabobber. And now he has wasps. Says you ain't got nothing. So now we're going to have to hit some Mustangs, I feel. Oh, that hurt. Fortunately, we can't do nothing to shoot the air. Looks like the rocket took out a chunk of them, but not enough. Yeah, so we're going to go down here. Which is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, I say it's okay, but he actually has a lot. This might actually put me out. Though our fangs are doing pretty good here. I don't think it's enough, but they're doing pretty good. Level 3 fangs. Woo! Lord have mercy. Electromagnetic impact. I think that sounds pretty good. Electro impact that. We could promote them. Do we go with more fangs? Can we go here? And we're going to go elite recruit. Do we do mass recruit as well? All right, and then we'll put this here because that's a big help. And then we'll put this here as well because why not? We're going to need all the help we can get here. All right, let's see what he comes at me with. Come at me, bruh. Yeah, missed out with the little electromagnetic impulse thing. And these wraiths over here are going to just fuck us on this right flank. But I feel we've got enough fangs. The problem is we don't have anything to take out the air. I'm out of coffee again. Yeah, it's just too much. Just too much, Captain. And again, they're going to take this one out. This is the end. I don't think we have enough units. And especially when I'm taking out those towers. Oh. Oh. That's one way to start the morning. Oh, we're still in it. We are still in it. Okay, boys. I think we are taking the Farseers. And then I want y'all to have the coding and the electrical impulse. Hey, yeah. And then we want 2 more fangs. Or do we just upgrade our fangs? Is this a fang? That's a fang, right? Where does it say it? That's a fang. So increase the range. I think that'd be good. And then where's my rockets? Rocket Man. Like that. Like that. Like that. All right, the last battle. Oh, his crawlers just got into my fangs there. That's not good. Yeah, he's already taken down 1 tower. Booger. Well, good job, Mr. Star. Right, I think we got time for another, maybe 2. We'll see how it goes. Let's get in the queue. We'll make the next one happen. I'm going to refill that coffee while we wait. BRB, honeys. Leave y'all with the dogs. All right, I'm back. Who do we want? I like the elite. She got fangs. You got crawlers, steel balls, no Mustang. All right, we're going to go with the elite. Elite dangerous. I don't think we can do the same build, though. Not that that last build was particularly good. This one at square, guys. Stop being difficult. And we got fangs. That. What are we going up against? We're going up against crawlers and a tank. So I call you. And then we get these buff crawlers coming out. We'll go right there. Right there. Man, the one thing I don't like about this game is they have, like, everything is odd. So you can't have things just perfectly square. I can't have things the way I would like them. Nice and even and symmetrical. Pleasing to my eye. But c'est la vie. What can a girl do? a little different playing this without the cheat sheet. I mean, my cheat sheet was nice, but now like trying to have to keep on taps and trying to remember the yings and the yangs and the rocks, paper, scissors of it all. I think again I'm just gonna skip it. Skip it. Skip it. So he's got his crawlers like right there. So I think I'm gonna do the same, and that way we can just kind of rush whatever's in the middle. That's my idea. You want to drop a rocket right on these guys? Okay. T is fine. Is that, or he's got to be? Is he back? Is he stabbing me in the back? No. We just murdered all of his crawlers. But he's saving money too. Like, we gotta keep that in mind. He didn't spend anything this round really, except for that one rocket, which he got as a card, which may have been free. He's a cooking something, y'all. We're going to take the air. We're going to go to the air, my boys. We're going to defend our flanks, too. You know, I think we may go for the factory again. Yep, he went for him as well. But again, we'll be able to get to his... Oh, we got fangs, too, so we're good. We're Gucci, y'all. I don't think either one of us really spent money that round. Home Slice, he better have something in his back pocket here. He's about to give me an easy win. There's no such thing as easy wins, but... We're going to go Overlord. And we're going to go... Oh, it's 1,200. I forgot we're the elite. So we get this gargantuan guy like that. Get that one coming in there. And we're even going to take him. Go. Right, so they're already been hurt. Knocked down one of them. I don't know. I don't know if driving my war factory right there was really the smartest thing, but it was a thing. Do we have enough to kill them all, though? Oh, I see all my fangs. We should be good. We should be good. GG. Maybe. If not this one, it'll be the next one. Oh. Come on, man. You go to the air, you can attack the air. So can you. Got the missile launch. What can we do? What can we do? Here we go. What do we... I mean, I really don't think we have much more. Like, this is going to be the last round, right? Now, the flame dude might be... Oh, but our he's done. War Factory's got it. GG. We salute you. That's all, folks. I kind of like this moving thing. I might have to play with this more. I don't know how much it really does help or doesn't help. But it's still nifty to check out. Oh, I gotta turn up this desktop audio. That's a problem. Keeping y'all in the silence. There we go. Where are you going? Look at us. Look at us. Moving on up to silver. Gonna get away from the coppers and trash. You know what's interesting is how expensive copper is and how versatile copper is, and yet we put it as like some trash metal. Whereas gold, you won't use gold for I mean, yeah, I know gold is used in electronics and shit like that, but like, you know, how I guess that's part of it, right? Copper's so commonplace. All right. Oh, Sabretooth. And we get them in the Mustangs and the Marksman. I think we shall. And so what we'll do is we'll unlock crawlers, I think. Let me get this square. Dig with this while I can. I do like me some Mustangs. Yeehaw, cowboys. Actually, I think we can put them kind of on the wide end. Yeah, just kind of help them protect the flanks. Not that we're going to get flanked yet. We'll just put them there. Get our 2 crawlers. Kind of like that. And he's got, what, crawlers and Mustangs. Ooh. Let's see what happens. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aerial specialist. They came out swinging. All right, Maxa. Moxa. Oh. Yep. Yep. Do not take out my fucking tower already. Do not take out my tower. But I think he's going to win this one for sure. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's got the tower. Son of a... That's all right. That's okay. Can't win them all. But you only won one, John. Oh, we got our Sabretooth. We got a Sabretooth. I do like that bubble shield. I'm gonna do that. Get 2 of these. And we're gonna come from the side. Oh, that was not the side we needed to strengthen now that I think about it out loud. But we may be able to at least take out the capital ship, so to speak. Although they just got that, which is going to make killing it a lot harder. Survive, crawlers, survive. Oh yeah. I think we might be good. We might be okay. We're going to need to shore up the right side. Because obviously the right side's our bigger weak point in the moment. I do like hackers. God, do I like hackers. Bada, bada, bada. bada, bada, bada. Bada, bada. All right. Oh no. Oh no. That's gonna hurt. Okay, it only hit the tank. It only hit. Oh, and he upgraded all this side. And he put up a. God damn it. He really strengthened up that right flank. I mean, we secured it a little bit, but nothing that's going to be useful or staying. We might get the tower first, but he's still going to get our tower. However, this might work out kind of juicy. No, I think he's going to get both towers. Yeah, see, the problem here, you don't got enough Mustangs. You do not have enough Mustangs. I don't think we have enough Mustangs. We got it. Oh my gosh. Happy days. Surge into the lead. Okay, and we are in round 4. Okay, this is the Earth. This is round. This way, Earth. Don't you think? Don't you say? Start you back there. We got 2, so I can't get that one yet. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. And I think we're just going to let that one roll. Wow. I think this thing hit it once and it was just like, nope. And he's got a bunch of his little aircrafts up here. Like, we worked to hammer out his right flank this time and he secured up the left. But I think we'll be okay. These crawlers are such heroes. Get it. Yeah. And just like that, we won. I don't think he's going to be able to come back. I really don't. I could be just being counting my chickens before they hatch. Increase the attack of all units. Pretty. Do I want another shot? I do want another shield. Fangs. You got Mustangs, right? Give me another set of Mustangs. We're gonna mortgage our future, so that way they can just fuck up the air. Like nobody cares. Hey! Oh! Hey! You up a little closer. Y'all will promote as many as we can. And then we go. Off to, oh man, he says, I am pissed. You might take this one. You might get this one. We got a lot of Mustangs on that left flank. Damn. He got my unupgraded marksman, so that's okay. He's got this thing maxed out. Yeah, he just doesn't have enough shaft, I don't feel. That sucks. I mean, it really won't matter. I mean, this is game over. Not game over. We won this one as well. Keep an eye on the clock, man. I got work here in a few minutes. Can't get caught. Putzing around online all morning. So he's going really hard with the air. I think we do the swarm of wasp. We'll drop them back here. Hopefully that's far enough away from that. And you, we're gonna upgrade Phoenix production. And then we'll come here to, well, that's 100, so no. We will then, what do we want? What are you waiting for? We get 2 fangs and a crawler. Crawler. Hardly even knew her. There we go. All right. Ooh, that was a good rocket. Wasp come into the bag, we're gonna backstab, get that, and now it should just be a cascade. I say that, but he's actually looking pretty strong right now. Yeah, one shot is gonna wipe all of these dudes out, I think. Maybe 2 shots. Still not enough to wipe him out, though. Gonna be close. I think we're still gonna be short. Aye. One more round. We're gonna go with these guys. We're gonna go with the anti and increased range. Pop. 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 Upgrade all of these guys. Promote you. Yeah, promote you. Being kind of greedy. And then we'll promote you. And we'll promote you. And we're going to throw that right there. Oh, no. Yeah, the Flamers are going to be kind of a... The Vulcans may actually turn this around for him. And I forgot about my shields. Uh-oh. You may have just dragged this out a little longer. This will be an interesting one because I don't think we got it this time. I think he's going to take this from us. Not the game. I think the game is still ours to lose. But was not expecting the Vulcans. Mostly because I just don't think about those things. Oh, man. Uh-oh. I think he might steal this one from me. No. All right. Vulcan's Descent. Large scale. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Bring him there. And take some money. Take the money and run. Woo, woo, woo. let's see what happens. I'm hoping we can take these things out. It looks like it's taking us, even with the big blast, slowing everything down. Man, too much. He's too much. He's too much for me, baby. Did we whip it out? Did we whip it out? Phrasing? I don't know. Took out that thing. He still has his big honcho here. Oh, that's gonna help. Oh my god, though. Oh. Oh, no. No. Put him there. Rapid resupply. Upgrade them. What does this do? Increase the... Yeah. More targets, right? I think that's what we're going to go with. We'll see what happens. You went with the Phoenixes, which may not be a bad idea. Which may not have been a bad idea. We've got our 3. Oh, and he's got a melting point. The melting point's really going to be a big one. We get the war factories to knock out the... No, we don't have enough. Man. Yeah, we got to do this. Gotta get out there. That one there. Yeah, we're gonna get these guys to cycle in behind. I am tempted. I think we're gonna do that. Go 2 of them. Need increased range. Here and increase our range. We're going to try to put them kind of flanking positions. We're going to try to let this thing buffer as much as we can. All right, y'all. Let's see what happens. We both have the same idea. We're both dropping smoke on each other. Oh my god, we might get his melting point. We may steal his melting point. Come on, melting point. Come on, melting point. Come on, melting point. Oh yeah, we stole his melting point. We stole his Vulcan. Oh, his whole army's gonna crush around him now. I think we've got this, boys. And gals. Oh, the hacker for the win. Oh yeah. Wee, man. That dude made me work. I like that. That was a good match. Woo. Equal back MMRs, too. All right, y'all. Let's see. I don't know if we gained too much MMR today, but we did go up. Where am I supposed to be?
There's the dogs again. Last look of them sleeping. I'm gonna see if we got anybody to raid this morning, because I got, like I've been telling y'all this morning, I gotta wrap it up this morning. And unfortunately or fortunately, right, I got work. Can't just hang out on Twitch all day with y'all, as fun as it would be. And just kind of recapping the schedule for anybody new around. Tuesday nights, we do. On Tuesday nights, we'll do more.
What am I thinking of?
We'll do more of our gym fail videos, where we critique and talk about how to avoid gym fails and how to keep yourself as safe as possible. And then the two on Wednesdays, like we are here this morning, the big thing we focus on is going to be, again, looking at form and techniques and some education, if you will, trying to find out different ways, basically learning from different methods. So we did some Pubmed today, looking at some articles. We looked at again Reddit, and kind of learning and seeing that, while forums are good for some places to begin, there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. And then on Friday nights, we're going to be doing the Wheel of Agony. If you've been here, you know about it a little bit. But again, it's going to be basically rounds of exercise based around performances of game. Been using Mecbellum lately, and so that's been a good one based on its tempo of the game pace. If you got any questions, by all means, ask us. We'll get you an answer, and we'll try to help you out with whatever your fitness questions are. As always, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time. As always, stay mindful as fuck. Don't compensate, and enjoy Celtsy. He's got a good workout channel, a nice work-along channel to go with. So y'all have a good one. Be well.